this is Gregor Mendel. He was an Austrian monk and plant enthusiast. He may not look very bright, but Gregor Mendel is now known as the father of genetics because of the experiments he conducted in 1856 to 1863 on pea plants. That's right, pea plants. By breeding peas, he discovered the principles that rule heredity. Mendel began by breeding a purebred yellow-seeded plant with a purebred green-seeded plant, but the offspring seeds were only yellow. Next, he bred 2 of the yellow-seeded offsprings, and from this, 1 in 4 or 3-to-1 ratio were green, just like Grandpa. From these experiments, Mendel realized that the yellow-seeded trait was more powerful in being expressed in the next generation. This is now known as the dominant trait. The green seed, however, was weaker and was not expressed physically, but expressed in the genes. This is known as the recessive trait. Mendel taught us that each trait depended on a pair of factors called alleles, a pair from the mother and a pair from the father. These alleles are expressed in the phenotype and or genotype of an offspring. The phenotype is what we can physically see, for example, a green or yellow seed, while the genotype is the information we carry in our genes but are not expressed. If the 2 alleles are identical, whether it be dominant or recessive, we call this homozygous. However, when the alleles are unidentical, it is called heterozygous. The best way to describe this is to look at eye color in humans. Brown-colored eyes are a dominant trait, while blue-colored eyes are recessive. To demonstrate which alleles of eye color are being expressed, we can use a Punnett square. If one parent was a brown-eyed homozygous, we can represent this as 2 capital B's. If the other parent was a blue-eyed homozygous, we can represent this as 2 lowercase b's. Since the big B is dominant, we can see that all the offspring's phenotypes will express brown eyes. However, since the lowercase b is still present in the genotype, the offspring of these 2 homozygous parents will be heterozygous. This means if this offspring was to ever have offspring of their own, their offspring may physically express the blue eyes and be either homozygous or heterozygous. This is a little confusing, I know, but to make it easier we can use another Punnett square. If one of the heterozygous offspring from the previous example mated with another heterozygous partner, this would be the result of their offspring. There would be 1 in 4 chance of the offspring having blue eyes and 3 in 4 chance of it having brown eyes. This 3-to-1 ratio is known as the Mendelian ratio, a ratio that scientists still use today.